welcome to a very casual episode of Disqualified. I am Trevin, joined as always by Caleb.
Hola!
And Zach, as always, is behind the camera, our little prediction double champ. And Gordon's helping out as well.
Yes, we're on vacation.
Yes. If you recognize the setting, it's the same setting we did for our Bad Blood review.
We're in the woods.
After Mania, we needed some time to chillax, because holy that weekend.
Yes, holy indeed. But, stop looking at my elite.
Oh, I was just curious.
But speaking of Mania, a lot of stories that started at Mania were pushed a lot further on this episode of SmackDown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they were. So, oh, jeez, it's been a long day already. Trevin, what did we start with?
We start with the winner of your Night 2 main event, John Cena, coming out and not even getting a word in before the voices in your head start speaking. And
Yep.
Randy Orton comes out and is like, listen, I'm confused how these roles got reversed. Why am I the one trying to talk sense into you? We've been at this for about the same time. You know, you got your record 17. I'm looking to beat your record a little bit, but you're a different man. You know what? You know what you need? You know what you need to fill that void that you only think championships can fill? Because they ain't championships. You need a kid.
Yeah, and then Cena says, look, you try coming out here under the guise of making me feel better, and then you parent shame me in front of all these people.
Yeah. Yeah, Randy brought up how Cena is the record holder for most wishes granted in the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he's like, listen, all those handshakes you gave to your fans, all those Make-A-Wish wishes you granted, you can't possibly think it was a good idea to throw all that away, throw all those relationships, throw all those pieces of your heart you gave away, and he's like, listen, and if that is the John Cena you've become now, then I'm going to kill him right here, right now. Let's go. Put that title on the line if you say you're the true champ. And John Cena, being the good heel he is, says no.
Yeah, he says, no, I want to do this for you. So at Backlash, which is in St. Louis...
in your hometown, you get to see and kiss your family before the match. Because I want you at not only your physical best, but your emotional best. So I can beat the snot out of you.
Yep. And then, Randy goes... No. Does Randy go for the RKO right away?
Not right away. Cena throws a couple punches first, and then the scuffle does end in an RKO with Randy standing tall.
He threw the belt at him, that's what happened.
To trick his ass, and then he elbowed him hardcore.
Yeah, and it ends with the sequence ends with an RKO and Randy standing tall on the turnbuckle, holding the title over his head, which if you know anything about telegraph storytelling in wrestling, he ain't winning.
I also love how Cena gets laid out in the same exact position week after week after week after week.
It's Cena's version of the Family Guy death pose. It's just him like completely starfishing on, and it is kind of funny, especially because sometimes when the camera cuts to him, he's smiling like he just died peacefully.
Oh yes. But then we move on to our first match of the night.
Yep.
And oh boy, what a match it was.
Yes, because we had Los Garza versus new pre-draft call-up and signing Fraxium.
Yep, they are now on the blue brand. SmackDown is becoming their home, so they will be on USA every Friday. If you're in the US.
Why is this tag division so stacked?
Because this is how you actually book a good division, unlike Raw. I don't know why the SmackDown side of things is so stacked, but I love it. This isn't the only tag team action we'll see tonight.
Nope.
Because we will see a triple threat tag TLC match.
Yep, in your main event, which we will get to later. But yeah, no, this was a good debut main roster tag match for Fraxium. Perfect opponents to showcase their style And holy, this match cooked.
Yeah, in Fraxium hitting their double diving finisher for the
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. And Los Garza eats another loss, which they didn't hint at it during the match or even in promo segments, but based off of what happened with the Rey Fenix debut, I feel like Los Garza and Legado as a whole might be splitting off a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think they might be.
Yeah. Because it's like, people want to see Berto do his own thing, and they've been teasing at it for a while. And I feel like another factor on why it would be a good idea to possibly have Legado break up also is, I ain't gonna lie, to try to stop those Triple H allegations of, if you're a lucha, you gotta feud with one of these two, either LW or Legado. Pick your poison, which brand you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's interesting on where we go from here. Notable by his absence tonight is Rey Fenix as well.
Yes.
No Rey Fenix, no Andrade.
Yeah, no. Especially after the weekend they had yesterday of Andrade getting second place in the Andrade Battle Royale, and Rey having his third match or fourth match in the WWE be on Mania, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, that is really all we'll see of these guys. Fraxium did have a little "we've been called up" little promo that you can see on YouTube, not on the actual episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our next little segment is,
I believe it's Chelsea Green, Zelina Vega
double checking real quick.
for the Women's United
no.
States. Oh, it's not.
The other SmackDown Women's Champion
Oh,
spot. Yeah. So we have Tiffany Stratton coming out and celebrating that she beat the Queen at Mania, and that she is standing the tallest she has ever stood and is just awaiting for the next challenge, whoever wants to step up. And who else had a decently big win at Mania that's in this title picture?
Jade Cargill.
Yup. And the fear that was in Tiffy's eyes was like, oh shoot, I might have spoke too soon.
So if you've seen the new, WWE Uncovered,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, I think that's like their new reality show that they're making. They had a whiteboard filled with WrestleMania 41 matches, and the planned women's title match was Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax.
Yeah. And that match would have good, but it looked like other factors of people wanting to return and be on the Mania card, and other factors of some, vacation time and holiday scheduling thing as well.
Cargill was injured.
Yes. So
That
they
kind of
did,
disrupted the plans.
yeah, they couldn't build it properly with that.
Yeah, so we get into the match because Jade Cargill wants a match with Tiffany Stratton.
Yep, they
Not
say,
for the title.
yeah, they just agree it's a little bout. If Jade does win, it could lead to a title opportunity.
Championship implications.
Yep. And these two put on a banner, honestly. Like, holy, the in-ring chemistry between these two was seen immediately.
Cargill picking Stratton out of a cartwheel. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
There was one spot, though, where Cargill struggled to pick Stratton up for a spine buster, and then Stratton did it effortlessly the next move. But as we are going to see Tiffy go for the prettiest moonsault ever, who interrupts the match?
The first interruption is from none other than Jade Cargill's WrestleMania opponent, Naomi. Jade thought the beef was done with them, putting it front and center at Mania. Jade picked up the win and was like, you know what? I'm good now. I got my ones.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi ain't having that.
Yep. Naomi comes out, cost Jade Cargill the match.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the way she engaged the brawl was weird. Like, I was like, what the F is this?
Yeah. And then we see Naomi stare off with Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
Tiffany enters the ring.
And Tiffany gets bumped by none other than the person Tiffy cashed in on, a returning Nia Jax from her little hiatus.
Why are we doing this storyline again?
Yeah,
Why?
especially because Tiffy has pinned her not only in the cash-in, but also in a normal rematch and in a tag match.
Yep.
It's like, that is 3 times Nia has been pinned by Tiffany Stratton already. We don't need this run back.
I see this being a very roundabout way of giving the title to Jade Cargill. It's going to be a fatal 4-way. Cargill's winning.
Yeah. Because we see in a little post-commercial break later on that Nia was like, you got your beef with Jade, but when it comes to that title, it's mine. And Naomi doing her villain a catchphrase thing of saying, as long as you proceed with caution, and they part ways.
Yeah, I just think this is going to lead to a fatal 4-way. Not immediately. I
It'll-
think first we're going to get a tag match.
Yeah, it will require some build-up.
But I think this is a fatal 4-way for the title. And unfortunately, this is where they take it off of Tiffany Stratton.
Probably give it to Jade, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, our next segment is Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa entering the ring to celebrate Jacob's Mania US title win. And Solo, he's hyping Jacob up. He's, celebrating, calling him the big dog, calling him the wrestler he knew he could be. But Jacob just sees it as yapping. He's like, he literally steals the mic from Solo and is like, I don't know why you talking. I didn't need you out there to win this title. I didn't need you for a lot of the successes I've already had. I told everyone I'm gonna do my own thing, and doing my own thing got me this chip.
Yep.
And he's interrupted by none other than can't escape both the vortex of bloodline drama and the U.S. title picture. L.A. Knight. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, listen, Knight, I get people want you to be U.S. champ, but both your title reigns have been transitional AF. Move on.
Yeah.
This clearly ain't the scene for you.
Also, just escape the bloodline vortex. Go on and do your own stuff.
In the draft, I want him to go to Raw low-key. Put him in the IC title picture. Put him in that mid-card picture.
Then you just have the same stuff that's happening on SmackDown currently. It's not gonna be the Judgment Day vortex for long because they're breaking up, but that's pretty much what he'd be entering into.
Yeah, but it would at least feel different a little bit.
I don't really think so. I mean, I'm interested in him moving to a different brand.
Or put him
I'd like to see
back
him-
in the world title scene, because I feel like his best character work was his little stuff with Roman of just pissing Roman off.
Yeah, that was pretty good work.
Yeah.
But LA Knight comes out and he says, like, look, I'll give credit where credit is due. I said I was going to hit you with the BFT.
I did.
I did.
And then you grabbed the ropes like a pro.
Yep.
And it's like, I'll give you where credit's due. I thought I had you, but I clearly didn't.
And you just proved that it can happen to anyone. It can even happen to me. Just out there, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. It can happen.
Yep.
But I'm still the rightful owner of that title.
No, you ain't.
And I want a shot at it.
And then we hear a sword get drawn.
Which, from news that broke earlier that day, made no sense for
Yep.
him to be out here. Here comes Drew McIntyre.
Yep. interrupting LA and is like, LA, listen, you lost. And clearly, that's a thing that happens to you a lot.
Yep.
Yep, but he's like, listen, when I came to SmackDown, I knew I wanted to fight for championships and fight the best of the best. Now, the world's title picture is a little funky because Orton's got a shot and John Cena's the hollow of the man he once was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a fight a monster. I want to fight a champion who knows who he is. Jacob Fatu, I want that title.
Yep. And, you know, if it was just this match, one-on-one, I'm here for it. Drew versus Jacob, I think it's going to be a good match, but...
LA decides, nah, I got the rematch clause, I'm already claiming my shot. But Drew's like, listen, mate, clearly this title ain't for you. They start beefing, start squabbling, and it looks like they're about to fight, but Nick Aldis, being the unprepared GM he is like, whoa, boys. Listen, you clearly want to fight, they want to see a fight, and you both want a shot at the title. So how about we do this a proper way, and you go back, put on your outfit, tie up your boots, and we have ourselves a #1 contendership match later tonight.
Yep, and we get that match later on.
Yep.
It was a match.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it right now. I think next we get into our Women's United States Championship scene.
Yes.
So it sees the Women's United States Championship up for grabs. Zelina Vega, the challenger, versus your Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green, with her Secret Hervis.
Yup, Secret Hervis at ringside, and what's funny is that someone gave Alba Fire a flashlight,
Mm-hmm.
and that bit of the entrance is just hilarious. The bit where Piper pats down the ref to make sure there are no shenanigans are hilarious, because the ref just looked confused through until the first
It's usually me
bell.
patting people down.
Yeah, it's just like, huh? And yeah, the match gets underway, and it's a pretty decent match. Zelina showing that she's got some stuff in her bag. Chelsea not going for the unpretty her like 3 seconds in because she knows she has to end this match quick. Because we've seen in the last 2 matches that these two have put on Zelina, a sneaky little one.
Yeah, so it's about the midpoint of the match, and we get Zelina going for the 619.
Yep.
Now, Piper trips Zelina up.
Yep.
And the referee sees that, and he starts reprimanding Piper.
Yep.
And as he's reprimanding Piper, Alba Fire comes out the cut and tries to beat up Zelina Vega.
Yep, but his peripherals catch that and is like, oh no, this is too much. You
out of here!
Yep. And we think an out of here spot is around, as you mentioned, middle of the match. However,
Yeah, no, it was not very much middle, so...
nope.
I think Chelsea goes for the unpretty
Yep,
one
Chelsea-
more at a time.
Chelsea tries to sneak in from Zelina celebrating the out of here for the unpretty her. However, Zelina escapes, is able to bounce off the ropes for code red for the 1, 2, 3.
And no! Women's United States
Secret
champion.
Hervis didn't even make it all the way up the ramp, so they came running back for a brawl.
Yeah, Zelina Vega, new Women's U.S. champion.
Yup, and honestly, good on her. She's deserved a title for a while.
I believe Chelsea's reign comes to an end after 132 days.
Yes.
So, good for her. Wonder what's going to happen with her now.
Yes.
Especially with the Secret Hervis.
Yes, we brought this up on the car ride we have up to this location of... I was bringing up how, Chelsea can't lose it until they start subtly changing the gimmick a little bit. But not just end the gimmick cold turkey, I guess.
Yeah, I don't... Chelsea posted on Twitter today, I demand a recount. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get this rematch at Backlash.
Probably, yeah.
And then probably a blow-off at Saturday night's main event. maybe.
Yeah.
But speaking in big news, oh, this energized me. I mean, granted, the show so far is pretty good, but hit a little bit of a slump.
But this next segment,
we get The Miz coming out.
Well, first we see him backstage with his current tag team partner, your Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale winner, Carmelo Hayes. And Miz gives him a little gold chain with a, mold of Andre's head on it so he doesn't have to lug around that big trophy and flex his ego a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Miz is like, listen, you're him and you have done amazing. I mean, you beat the man you had a 7-game series with to win the Battle Royale. You're on top of the world right now. You really are him. And as your partner, I feel like I need to step up a little bit. I'm going to go out there and try to see if I can prompt someone to give me a shot.
Yep, and The Miz comes out. And he starts talking about, I could do this, I could do that.
He's like,
I could put on a lucha mask and act like I'm a luchador.
Yep, he's like, I've been in this business for 20 years. I deserve something. And something he got. As the
ladies and gentlemen,
returning with the dopest entrance in the company.
His old theme is back. His whole old presentation is back. One Sir Aleister Black has returned.
Doing the whole rise from the dead, hop the ropes into the crisscross sitting position.
Oh, and then he just looks at Miz. Miz says, "What do you think you're doing? Black Mass!"
And just sits back down over his dead body.
Yep, Aleister Black returns. So, interested to see his first feud is Miz. That's interesting.
They've confirmed a match for next Friday, but he didn't even have to say a word, and the crowd hype accelerated to 10.
Yep.
It's just like, literally, my butt was not on the seat during this whole segment, because...
You know what made it? You know what made the segment better? They kept his old presentation, so people knew who it was.
Yes.
Isn't that a crazy idea? If you give people what they remember, they'll remember it.
Yeah.
Stop changing people's themes.
My bad.
Quit Def Rebelling, people.
You have Triple H's contact, Gordon.
Okay.
Zach actually has it now. Because he's double champ.
Alright.
But,
You were never champ. How'd you get his number then?
He gave it to me because I created Disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair.
Well, speaking of people who have created things, Trevin, talk about the channel you've created.
Oh, yeah! Our little TTRPG podcast, Throes of Chaos, linked down in the description, and I believe in this channel's bio, because we have linked this channel in that channel's bio.
Mm-hmm.
Our little TTRPG podcast, Throes of Chaos, right now, episode 2, released as of yesterday, as of recording. And, yeah, the audio is much better on episode 2. We encourage you to watch episode 1, as it does explain some bits, but there is some audio scuff problems in there. But episode 2 is a lot of fun. Upon editing it and all of us rewatching it a little bit, we cannot stop laughing. Caleb, my co-host here, plays a little Birdman while I DM.
I play a cowboy.
Yep. Gordon and Zach, while not on camera here, are on mic for that podcast quite a bit.
Zach, explain your character.
I'm a fearbold barbarian.
Big, strong sheep man.
That likes to fight, I guess.
Yep. And Gordon plays a human monk that likes punching things and getting into situations he should not be in.
Yeah, there is a pivotal moment for him later on that we'll get to. But back to the episode at hand.
Yep, I believe we are now at that number one contendership match. Just double checking. Yes.
Okay. So,
Yep.
this is also the last commercial-free hour.
Yes.
Of
When they
SmackDown.
announced that, we're like, oh, this hour about to cook.
Yeah, and it did. So, first we have to get through this match, which, like I said, was a match. I think it was a little bit of a slog.
Yes. Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight to see who will fight Jacob Fatu as his first feud. However,
Shenanigans. So,
Yep. the first shenaniganery is Solo Sikoa hitting a spike on LA Knight while the ref is distracted, and Drew is like, I want a title shot, but I don't like getting help from the bloodline. The last time this happened, everyone called me a hypocrite because it was a spike on Cody, and look where that's all gotten me. People hate me. Title's too cool, though.
yeah.
Goes for the pin for the 1, 2...
Breakup.
Yup.
And here comes Damian Priest.
Yup.
I get that it's called Backlash. We don't need to see Mania feuds
Recycled.
on Backlash.
However...
Maybe 1 or 2,
Yeah.
but not 3.
Yeah. However, this little Backlash feud gets interested when it looks like Drew is standing tall, but he gets attacked by none other than the person who this match was supposed to decide the opponent for,
Jacob Fatu comes flying out of nowhere.
Clear's house.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, you know what, Drew? Damien, you inserted yourself into this. You're gonna eat some hip attacks on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, so he hip thrusts Damian, I believe Drew,
Yes.
and then does his double rotation, his double jump moonsault
On LA.
LA and Damian.
Yes. To just clear house, and we were
Oh, we missed the best part. Drew McIntyre got put through the announcement table.
oh yes.
First time it broke. Damian
Yes.
Priest put him through it.
First time ever since the reinforcement on a main roster show, as we did see the tables get broken at Mania. However, for a main roster show, the inaugural table breakers go to Drew.
Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Yep, Drew getting south of heaven through the table by Damian Priest.
Yep. And,
Good on them.
immediately, I'm interested in this again if it's a fatal 4-way.
Yes. We did mention how it's like, I think Nick's going to turn this into a fatal 4-way.
Yep.
Because if you think Damien's going to sit idly by after getting Jacob Fatu cheeks over and over again.
And now we move on to our main event of the evening.
5-star match of the night.
A match that should have been on WrestleMania.
Yup.
Your triple threat tag team TLC title match.
Your champions, the Street Profits, represented by Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. I had to remember his name a little bit.
Versus DIY, which Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. And oh boy, howdy did they cook.
Yep. A couple highlight spots, because we just encourage you to find a way to watch the entirety of this match. Because holy, we cannot cover every spot in here. But
Montez jumps over the turnbuckle while Angelo is in the tree of woe position, taking out Johnny, Tommaso, Alex, and Chris.
Yep. Someone in the audience let Montez borrow his prosthetic leg for a spot.
Montez tweeted out today, thanks, really gave us a leg up on the competition.
I freaking love Tez.
And then we get the Skull and Bones on a table.
Yep.
with Chris Sabin standing on the table with Johnny.
Yep. Another spot is Dawkins hitting a rotating cutter on Johnny Gargano onto chairs that were not in the normal double chair position.
Oh yeah, he had the silencer on him. We also see Dawkins spear Ciampa off of the
Very edge.
carabiner
Yep. Very Edge Hardy-esque little
through
spot.
a table.
Yep.
We also see so we have Chris, I think it's Chris Sabin, on the ladder. He's climbing up. Montez jumps from the ropes onto the ladder. We've seen this spot a
Yep.
million times before, but he takes down Chris Sabin.
Um,
Johnny pulls him down, crucifies him in the ladder, super kick, and then we're like, oh, that's Tez.
Yep.
They're done.
Nope.
So Johnny climbs up. We see Alex Shelley climb up. They're fighting.
And Tez decides to climb using the innards of the ladder to make this a three-way squabble.
Takes both Shelley and Gargano down and unhooks those titles to retain in a 5-star instant classic.
Oh, literally, I thought there were so many spots where I'm like, well, that's them. This match is over. Then I checked the time and I'm like, we still got 15 minutes.
They literally said, you want to leave us off Mania? All right. We'll show you what we were going to do. Oh, yeah. It would have made Mania Night 1 so much better.
Yes. It's like I have mixed opinions about this match not being on Mania because it's like getting it for free is cool. Show us what this division is, especially with the new addition of Fraxium.
Mm-hmm.
This division is already cooking, and this shows it just continue to cook. Having it on the biggest stage would have been cool as a little give flowers to all these teams for the work they have put in, but also the fact that it was on just a weekly, I feel like added to the audience participation and reactions a lot more. You got the holy yes chance.
Mm-hmm.
You got the prosthetic leg spot, which if this was at Mania, I'm pretty
Wouldn't have-
sure that man probably couldn't afford the seats to perform that
Mm-hmm.
spot, and also probably wouldn't be allowed close enough to perform that spot.
Oh, yeah. This match was so good. Find a way to watch it. It was amazing.
Yes.
Perfect way to end the show. There was rumors that the Wyatt Six were going to return tonight. That was not the case,
Yes.
unfortunately.
But insider reports basically confirm that you will see them pre-Backlash.
Yep. And that is it for this episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
Little bit of a slog in the beginning, but that main event made it all worth it. Because
Yeah.
holy...
Yeah, but that has been it from us here at Disqualified. This has been Caleb. That is Trevin.
Oh.
Behind that camera is our double predictions champion, Zach. And also our pretty much editor-in-chief, Gordon. And this has been Disqualified.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. Thank you for your time, and peace.
Bye!